The war in Ukraine has redefined modern conflict, introducing new challenges and strategies that have forced both sides to adapt rapidly. The skies above Ukraine have become a crucial arena where technology, tactics, and sheer determination collide in a daily struggle for dominance. In this new era of warfare, control of the skies is proving absolutely critical, not just for military operations, but for the survival of entire cities and communities on the ground. Ukrainian pilots, flying aging MiG-29s, have managed to deny Russia air supremacy, an achievement that has been vital for Ukraine's survival and resistance. Their skill and bravery have become legendary, inspiring hope both at home and abroad. But heroism alone can't offset the relentless attrition of old jets, nor can it substitute for the urgent need for modern aircraft. Every day, Ukraine's Air Force faces the reality of dwindling resources and increasing pressure from a technologically superior adversary. Ukraine's future now depends on building a new air force of around 250 advanced jets, aircraft that can integrate seamlessly with NATO systems, deter further aggression, and ensure the country's long-term security. International support has begun, with F-16 pledges from Western allies marking a significant step forward. These commitments signal a growing recognition of Ukraine's needs and the importance of air power in this conflict. However, a larger, sustainable supply of modern jets is needed to truly shift the balance and guarantee Ukraine's ability to defend itself for years to come. Enter Sweden, now a NATO member, proposing a bold and innovative plan to build Saab Gripen fighters not in Sweden, but in Canada, leveraging North American industrial capacity and expertise. This international collaboration could transform Ukraine's defenses, providing a steady flow of advanced jets while strengthening ties between NATO allies. At the same time, it could create a new aerospace hub in North America, driving innovation, jobs, and security for the future. Saab's ambitious proposal to build advanced Gripen E and F fighter jets right here in Ontario could transform Canada's aerospace industry. This isn't just another defense contract, it's a bold vision that could reshape the country's role in global security and innovation. The plan is centered on supplying Ukraine with over 100 state-of-the-art fighters, a move that would more than double Saab's current global output and provide a critical boost to Ukraine's air defense capabilities. By manufacturing these jets in Canada, the supply chain is secured and insulated from the risks of European conflict zones, ensuring reliable delivery and long-term support for allied nations. For Canada, this means thousands of high-quality jobs, a leap forward in aerospace technology, and the development of a truly sovereign capability, not just assembling parts, but mastering the entire process from design to export. Saab's offer includes a full technology transfer, empowering Canadian companies to build, maintain, and even export Gripens independently, strengthening both national security and economic growth. The first jets would roll off the line in Sweden, but soon, production would shift entirely to Ontario, making Canada a true manufacturing hub for these advanced aircraft. If realized, this project would position Canada as a key supplier for NATO and a vital lifeline for Ukraine's Air Force, while also cementing its place as a leader in global aerospace innovation. Saab can't do this alone, it needs a Canadian partner. Bombardier, with its deep aerospace roots, is the ideal collaborator. Their proven teamwork on the GlobalEye surveillance jet shows they can deliver complex projects. The new factory could be at Bombardier's Toronto or Dorval sites, leveraging skilled workers and supply chains. This partnership embeds the project in Canada's industrial base, benefiting local suppliers and workers. For Bombardier, it's a leap into military aviation. For Saab, access to North America. Together, they could create a new champion for Canadian aerospace. Saab's proposal arrives at a pivotal moment, just as Canada is re-evaluating its commitment to the F-35 program. The debate is intensifying, with questions swirling about cost, capability, and the future of Canadian air power. As the government weighs its options, the stakes for national security and industry are higher than ever. So far, only 16 of the planned 88 F-35s have been firmly ordered. Persistent delays, escalating costs, and concerns about long-term maintenance have cast doubt on the program's timeline and affordability. The F-35's advanced technology is impressive, but it comes with a hefty price tag and logistical challenges. In response, Saab has put forward a bold alternative: a dual fleet approach. Under this plan, Canada would operate F-35s for high-risk stealth missions that require cutting-edge capabilities, while Canadian-built Gripens would handle daily patrols, training, and routine operations. This would not only support local industry, but also create jobs and expertise within Canada's aerospace sector. By diversifying its fleet, Canada could reduce its reliance on a single US platform. If one fleet is grounded due to technical issues or political disputes, the other could continue flying, ensuring operational flexibility and national sovereignty. Gripens are not only cheaper to buy, but also significantly less expensive to operate and maintain. This could allow Canada to field a larger number of jets, increase pilot training hours, or redirect savings to other defense priorities. The choice is complex. A full F-35 commitment would maximize interoperability with NATO allies and the US, strengthening Canada's role in joint operations and international missions. Alternatively, a dual fleet could deliver both industrial benefits for Canada and strategic flexibility, balancing advanced technology with economic and operational resilience. Ultimately, the decision will shape not only the future of Canada's Air Force, but also its defense industry and its relationship with key allies like the United States for decades to come. The Gripen project is an industrial strategy for Ontario, not just a military buy. Saab pledges 10,000 high-quality jobs across engineering, manufacturing, and support. Full technology transfer means Canada can build, maintain, and upgrade jets independently. Hundreds of Canadian suppliers would benefit, boosting local economies and skills. Canada could export Gripens, joining the global fighter market. This would make Ontario a critical node in NATO's defense industry. The US is pressuring Canada to stick with the F-35, warning of economic fallout if orders drop. Canadian firms are deeply involved in the F-35 supply chain, and that work could be at risk. Ottawa must weigh the benefits of a domestic fighter industry against the risk of straining US ties. The US wants standardization among allies for easier logistics and operations. A Canadian move toward Gripen could set a precedent for others. Canada faces a tough diplomatic balancing act between national interests and alliance expectations. Ukraine wants the Gripen because it's built for nations facing larger adversaries. The jet can operate from short, rough roadways, making it hard to target and easy to disperse. Its low maintenance needs and quick turnaround keep more jets flying in combat. Operational costs are low, maximizing Ukraine's limited resources. The Gripen's advanced sensors and weapons make it a formidable air defense and strike platform. Ukrainian pilots praise its suitability for their realities. A mixed fleet of F-16s and Gripens offers Ukraine resilience and cost-effective defense. Building Gripens in Ontario would make Canada a NATO aerospace powerhouse. The factory would supply both Canada and Ukraine, creating a secure transatlantic arsenal. Canada would gain jobs, technology, and a more independent defense policy. Supplying Ukraine cements Canada's role as a key ally in European security. For Ukraine, it means a steady flow of modern jets and a path to a robust air force. Ottawa must balance industrial opportunity, military needs, and US relations. If successful, this project would define Canada's legacy in NATO for decades,